Hi, I'm Benjamin, author of Master Math Models and 18 math guidebooks found in major bookshops like Popular and used by thousands of students in Singapore. My mission is to make difficult math questions easy for children so that they will learn to love and enjoy maths. If you would like to learn more about quick and easy ways to help your child learn and understand maths, simply subscribe by clicking on the button below, and you will be able to watch my other videos which are constantly added and updated. If you would like to get more free resources like exam papers, please join my Telegram group, which can be found in the description of this video below. So let's get great at maths. Hi, welcome. And the very first thing you need to do in any problem-solving sum is to work on keywords, highlighting keywords. Now, this is an important, critical first step that you should never skip. Okay, so let's do this right. It says that Andy saved 25% as much as the total saved by Benson and Chris. Notice how few words I'm highlighting. Okay, this is how it should be when you're doing highlighting of keywords or annotation. Now, what you do whenever you see a percentage sign is you want to convert this into a fraction to solve the question easily and quickly. So when you see a percentage symbol over here, very simply, just put 100 below and simplify this as far as you are able to. This should give you 1/4. So now with this as 1/4, it should read as Andy saved 1/4 as much as the total of Benson and Chris. And since that is the case, then we know that 1 would be Andy and 4 would be Benson and Chris's total, right? 4 would be the total of Benson and Chris. So we are going to do the same for 60%. You can pause it right here to try it out, or you can just continue watching, okay? Now, what we're going to do next is we are going to take the 60% and we are going to convert this into a percentage as well by putting this over 100, just like what we did for the 25%. Simplifying this would give us 3/5. And we are going to put the 3/5 over here now and read it as Benson saved 3/5 as much as the total of Andy and Chris. So this time, what is the 3? The 3 is Benson, and what is the 5? The 5 is the total of Andy and Chris, okay? Finally, it says that Chris saved 1,152 more than Andy, and the question is asking you to find how much the 3 boys saved altogether, all right? So with this, before we even begin, what do you notice about the first and second sentence that we highlighted? Okay, that doesn't include the first sentence there. I'm referring to these 2 sentences. Now, what is common for these 2 sentences? What you should have noticed is that both sentences include all 3 persons, right? So 1/4 includes Andy, Benson, and Chris. 3/5 includes Benson, Andy, and Chris. This means that it covers all 3 of them. It also means that if I were to add these 2 numbers together, 1 plus 4, to get 5, this total should be equals to 3 plus 5 to get 8. In other words, 5 parts here is equals to 8 units below. Why? Because the total of the 3 persons should remain the same. And this is the heuristic skill of unchanged total. All right? Now, keeping this in mind that it is total unchanged, what do we do for the model? What we do for the model, knowing that it is total unchanged, is that we should now draw 2 models of the same length. Each model represents their total. So this model on top is the total. The model below is also the total, but we are representing it in 2 different ways because there are 2 different fractions. Let's talk about the first fraction. In the first fraction, we have 1/4. 1/4, 1 plus 4 gives you 5. Therefore, we now know that this is made up of a total of 5 boxes. Below should be covering the fraction 3/5. How many is that in total? The answer is 8, right? 3 plus 5 gives me 8. So I am now going to cut this model into 8 boxes to represent their total. Okay, now going back to the first fraction 1/4, we know that 1 is ND. So since 1 is ND, I will illustrate that in my model. Okay, put as much information as you can in your model so that you know what you're doing. Now, of course, if 1 is ND, then we also know that the other 4 is Benson and Chris, because it says so over here, right? 4 is Benson and Chris. And in fact, it also says here that 3 is Benson. Okay, so if 3 is Benson and Benson is here, then we know that Benson belongs to the back end of the model. And so for that reason, I'm going to put Benson at the back. Okay, and Benson is 3 units. So this here would be Benson. Okay, and another reason for putting Benson here is because the total of Andy and Chris is 5. And Andy and Chris includes Andy, and Andy is already here. So we want to make sure that Andy is in the front part of the model, which is why we put Benson behind. Okay. So here we are going to put the model for Andy and Chris. Okay, this model. And this model is 5 units, as you can see here. So this is Andy and Chris, and this is Benson. Okay, now comes the critical part. We know already that the total of the 5 boxes on top is equals to the 8 boxes below. This is a critical part in almost every modeling question, where we need to equate the 2 models. And how we equate the 2 models is simply this. At the bottom, you should see a total of 8 boxes. Because there are 8 boxes below, this is now 8 units. Can you tell me how many units this will be? The correct answer is 5. Why? Because there are 5 boxes on top. So basically, it is the exchange of information. By doing this, this is now 8 times 5, giving you 40. And if you were to take the 5 units here and multiply by the 8 boxes here, you would also get 40. Okay, so now both of them represent exactly 40 units. So I'm just going to write that here, which you should also do. So the total is 5 times 8, 40 units. All right. What else do we already know? We already know that A and D is 8 units. How about B and C? Well, as you can see, B is over here. And we know that this is 5 units, which means that this is also 5. So how many units is B? The correct answer is that B would be 5 units times 3. So to find B, which is Benson, we are going to write 5 units times 3 to get 15 units. We also know that ND is 8 units, so maybe we can write it down over here. And we also know that the total is 40 units, which we already found. So with this information, how do we find Chris? Okay, very simply, just take the total and subtract away Benson and Andy, and you should get Chris. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So to find Chris, we are going to take the total. We're going to subtract away Benson, and then subtract away Chris. Oh, sorry, Benson and Andy. This would be units. And that will give us 17 units. So now we know that Chris is 17 units. In fact, we now know what each of them has in terms of units. Now, we're going to use the last piece of information that was given that we have not yet used, which is that Chris is 1,152 more than Andy. This is Chris. This is Andy. Can you tell me how many units is 1,152? Have you gotten that? Okay, very simply, take Chris, subtract away Andy, which is 8 units, to get 9 units, and that is $1,152. So with this, we should be able to find 1 unit, right? And this part, I'm pretty sure you know, you just divide this by 9. Then let's work this out. And that gives me 128. So 1 unit is 128. Now, how do you know if your calculation is correct? What would you do? The simple thing to do here is to reverse the working. Take 128 times 9 to see if you get 1,152. Clear your screen. Take 128, multiply it by 9, and my answer is correct. So I've checked it. Okay, this will prevent careless mistakes. Now we come to the last step, which is to answer the question, how much did the 3 boys save altogether? In other words, find the total, right? Now the total is 40 units. So let's find 40 units. So total, 40 units. That's 40 times 128, and you press that on your calculator, and that should give you $5,120, which is the answer to the question. Now we want to check that, right? So what are we going to do? You should take 5120, and you should divide this by 128 or 40 to get the other number. So I'm going to divide by 128 over here to see if I get 40. And I do. And I now know that my answer is correct. So at any point that you need to, please go back and watch other parts of this video as and when you need. And how do you know when you have mastered it? When you are able to solve this question without referring to it at any point from beginning to end. Okay, so that's it for this. And if you want to watch more videos to learn more math questions, please subscribe to my channel in the description below and join my Telegram group to get access to this worksheet. I will see you in the next video. Take care.